everybody. Look at all these folks popping in here. Hello, hello, hello. So let's warm up our chat skills. You have found Beyond the Keyboard with LB and Alicia. I'll introduce it like 18 more times as we count down to our start. But would you please drop in the chat? I'm trying to think of something funny off the cuff, and everything I have is a little bit dirty in my head today. So we're going to talk about your favorite silly, or how about not even silly, your favorite holiday decoration. I've found, for instance, I have affinity for reindeers. I've got about 27 reindeers around my house. In fact, I think there's one in the background here too, right? Maybe it's a menorah. So drop in your name, your city, and your favorite holiday decoration in the chat, please. Let's see if our chat's working. Alicia, you get to go first.
So we have, I have a nutcracker that came from like a white elephant holiday party now, but
yeah.
Now I've got a bunch of other little nutcrackers that my kids actually will like stash and like move in places around the house, and I'll find like little nutcrackers places. I love it.
Oh, I think that's really cute. Hilariously, I have a nutcracker as well from a white elephant gift, because nobody actually likes nutcrackers apparently, except for your kids. That's so funny. White elephant gift. Every year I'm like, who wants to put this in their room? Because I'm like, probably because I got it from my mother-in-law. All right. Stephen, 27 reindeers. You can see there. It's a fair, really, really fair point, actually. Thank you very much for that. Everybody else, join us. Type in your name and your city and tell us your favorite holiday decoration. We have 2 minutes until we get started. You have found Beyond the Keyboard prospecting skills using phone and video. This is the special sales shot where we're going double. So a double shot with LB and one of my favorite humans in the world, Alicia. And LB, I feel like I'm talking about myself in the third person. We're going to get started in 2 minutes, and let's see what we've got. Oh my gosh, James is a nutcracker. We have offended you completely, James, and we would, like better people would apologize. Yeah. Stephen, anything edible? Okay, I'm liking this. Angel and Madison, Christmas lights. You look at everyone else's lights, perfect. You just
That's one of my favorite traditions with the kids is we map out all of the houses that we want to see that do like the music and the light shows, and we drive around in the car and we do that. It's a fun one.
Yeah, they're really amazing. There needs to be like a place to find that more easily. You know what I mean? Like, that's probably because I'm not on social media. Is that where you find it? Like updates on Facebook?
So there is a company here in Colorado Springs, Treeline Lighting, and they produce the map every single year for the community. And they have, it's color coordinated. So it shows like the houses that just have great lights, the houses that have great lights, choreographed to music, and then all of the lights that they installed on houses. And so it's for them to promote their business, but it's a free resource to the community. And I have used it every year for probably about 12 years.
That's really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, really smart. The first time I saw a street with the holiday to the music was just a year or two ago. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the pressure of moving into that street? You know what I mean?
I always think about the neighbors that have to live next door or across the street that have all December people driving and parking in front of their house every night.
Yes.
That's always what I think about.
Yes, those poor souls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fun. And what if, like, you know, it wasn't a good time of year for you? You know, it could be a crazy busy time of year. It could be a sad time of year.
Yeah.
It could be, you know, not your holiday, not your, right? And then you feel like the bah humbug of the
neighborhood.
Yeah. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the peer pressure of lights, especially on those crazy streets that choreograph the lights to the music. Fun to watch, wouldn't be fun to live. And I feel like there needs to be some sort of either application process or warning in the real estate process.
Oh, that's that's an interesting think about
Yeah,
for realtors.
yeah, exactly. Oh, wait, you're getting a question here. What's the name of the company with the lights? Love it.
It's Timberline Landscaping, I believe. I know it's Timberline something, but it's Timberline, and that's their good branding because I've never had someone install Christmas lights for me, but I know that they do it.
They make money,
Yeah,
big money,
yeah.
like crazy big money. We had the neighbors send us their person because we were like, really, we need to outsource something. So I have a new plan to pay for college for my little boys. I'm like, get used to going up the ladder, kid. Help dad with the lights. This is a good idea. All right, let's get official here. By the way, I'm loving what I'm seeing in the chat. And Amy Wunderlich, that is your dream neighborhood. I know. Amy, I think, buys Christmas decorations starting in August. I may be exaggerating. I may not be. I'll let you defend yourself in the chat. Welcome. My name is Lauren Bailey. My friends call me LB. I'm the founder of Factor 8 and Girls Club. I'm joined by my dear friend and colleague and partner and a partner in crime, of course. I just sound like we were a couple, and that's also awkward. This is Alicia Baruti. I'll introduce her formally and let her do it on the next slide. What you found is our double shot of Beyond the Keyboard. So if you have found this on your own, it may be because you hate picking up the phone. It may be because you're thinking about video. It may be because your manager said, you're doing a little too much in LinkedIn. Let's try picking up the phone and doing something different, and asked you to come to this. But we're going to talk about some really great techniques, and we're diving deep about getting beyond the keyboard, beyond email and social media.
Yeah.
So I introduced myself briefly. Alicia, what should everybody know about you?
Well, my name is Alicia. I'm the national speaker here at BombBomb, which my title doesn't really tell you a lot, but my background was sales. So I'm not just a teacher. I did this for a while. I definitely did the prospecting via phone and video and email. But for the last several years, I spent most of my time educating sales professionals on video, on confidence, on sales techniques, on social media, and all of that. So I'm excited to be here. You two are one of my favorite people. I feel incredibly honored to be with you today.
Well, we'll check in with you again at the end. We'll see how that goes. BombBomb is a friend of Factor 8 and Girls Club, but so is Firemon. And we want to thank them very, very much for helping bring this webinar to you. They are a proud sponsor of Girls Club. I will tell you more about Girls Club at the end, so hang out for that because it is a powerful leadership certification program. The other half of my life is Factor 8. So if this is the first sales shot that you found, let me tell you, we do these every single month. Sales shots are completely free webinars. So we call this edutainment because as training company, it's important you understand that one webinar does not a behavior change make. But the idea is that we're going to give you lots of ideas and motivation today to dig in and try something new. If you want to follow up with training resources from Factor 8, that's why we do these things. And we're going to be super happy to help you with that. The next few months, here's what's coming. January. We've been talking about a nervous economy. It pained me to even write the R word, but enough layoffs have happened that people are really feeling it. And if you are trying to sell through it, you need some help. And I'm bringing in two really cool dudes to help me with this. One sells SaaS tools. The other is part of an equity firm. And we are going to crowdsource some really great help in January to get the year started right. The transition from field to virtual, right? If that is you or someone you've got to send them here because it's tough out there. And then the third one's for managers, creating that culture that retains your people, that coaching and learning culture. It's a real thing. It really works to retain your superstars. We're going to let you know how. Find all of these on the website at factor8.com/shots. So if you haven't seen it before, yep, we don't mind talking about drinking at Factor 8. In fact, our online learning platform is called The Sales Bar, hence the puns. We think we're pretty punny. All right, here we go. Sales shot number 1. Are you ready, Alicia?
Yes.
Oh. You got to do more than type. This is what's so important here, you guys. Email alone, it just doesn't work. It's important, right? We have to connect with people on social and on email, but literally, when's the last time you bought something over email?
I don't know ever.
I don't know ever either. And in fact, I actually responded to somebody from Google. It's probably an outsourced partner recently. Oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have advanced that. Who was trying to sell me this package over email. And I kept sending back a question like, I don't even know what package I'm on. I don't understand what you're selling. And never did he pick up the phone. Like, I literally engaged. It would have been a 5-minute conversation.
Yeah.
Nope, he hid behind email the whole time. It's sad, right?
Yep.
Do you think it's happening more today than it used to?
Yeah, because I feel like we've gotten so used to relying on email that so many companies and even salespeople with their own pipeline kind of adopt this like this spray and pray, where I'm just gonna flood as much, as many people as I can with email and just see what sticks, which is not really the most effective thing to do.
It's weird because I feel like the emergence of process and tools, right? And we all love a cadence tool. I've done a double shot with Brooke from Outreach, right? It's all about the cadence, but you can't just spray and pray. And that's what we're here to talk about today, okay? Marketing experts will tell you 7 to 13 touches to get somebody from awareness through purchasing. Of course, some of them can be email, and of course, some of them should be social.
Yep.
But if you want to actually sell it and get some attention, that's where you're going to differentiate yourself. And that's what these tips are about. All right. So let's jump in again. Here we go. This is why it's especially important you're learning about video today. I had to put this up front. This is super cool. Are you ready for this? If you send an email with a video, you will have, I'm going to have you guys guess what % higher open rates, right? There's an email open and then there's an email click through. So it's a number you're going to put into chat. What is the % higher open rate if it has a video in it? Anybody want to have a guess? 30, 80, 30, 3, 55, 40, 25, 50. This is fantastic. Nice job, you guys. Thank you for that. $1. 7 to 13% higher open rates. Okay. Marketing Benchmark reports the average email open rate was 21.5%. And believe me, it's hard to find that because, they want to tell you this kind and that kind and this kind and yeah, but no, but yeah, right. But it's about 20%. Yep. So out of 100 emails, 21, maybe 22 are opened. With video, you're at 24 plus. But here's the part I like even more. I love that. I didn't know this when we started to partner on this. Emails with video have a 96% higher click-through rate. So that's huge. Talk about that.
Which is really, really important because you think about the way so many of us go through our email inbox, right? We kind of open it up, we scan to see what's important, we delete a bunch of stuff that we don't even
God, yes. Sometimes
right?
It's the best part of my day.
Right? Just delete. But then you also have this next layer where people you'll open it to see what's in it, nothing, delete, open, nothing, delete, right? So getting your email open is important. But it's not the most important metric. The metric that you want to know is, are they engaging with it? Mm-hmm. And that's what this click-through rate tells you. It tells you that they're opening the email, but then they're actually taking an action. And that's really, really powerful. So yes, you put a video and now you have a massive increase in people taking the next step.
Okay, so I did math, which is not my strong suit. So Alicia's going to check me here, right? So 96% higher. So that means of the 24 people that opened the video, 23 read it and got your message. Okay, that's massive. So the same group that told us the previous statistic, the average click-through rate, CTR in Marketing Geek language, is 2.5%. So if you compare 0.5, half of one person got your message. 100 emails, half of one person got your message. Do it with video, you've got 23 that got your message. So if all of those converted to a conversation, right, it's going to be about 1,000 emails for 5 conversations, which is, it's a lot, which is why there's the whole spray and pray, right? So the end result is this. With your video, it's more than double the number of people who are actually hearing your message.
Powerful.
24% open, 4.9% click through, 1.2 people getting your message out of every 500 emails. So now let's talk about calls. Okay, so I wanted to lead with that because I think video is incredibly powerful. I met BombBomb because 7 years ago, we were speaking on a similar panel, on the same panel, I think it was your founder, Stephen. And they were like, hey, LB, is video going to last? I'm like, a year or two. We'll see, right? It's the latest fad. And I am a true believer. I use it in Girls Club and Factor 8, and I love it. So we're friends for life. But as powerful as this is, wait until you see how powerful calls are. Okay, we're talking about trying 1,000 emails and getting, right, 1.2 people. I'm sorry, 2.4 people, which is, low effort with a tool. Here we go. Chance of making connections with a call. How many people do you get a hold of your first try? It's not big, I know, right? You're looking at 25%. But out of 100 people, you have 25 conversations. Okay, you got to remember that with emails, you're starting backwards a little bit, and with social, right? This is like you actually got them live on the phone. Look at how this goes up. By the time you have 6 to 7 attempts, I added 7 because this study's out of date now, not all the way out of date, but like it gets harder every year, right? You're going to get a hold of 90% of your people if you try 6 times. If you make 5 calls, you're going to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
If the goal is that one prospect, try them 6 times, 7 times, it's over 90% sure you will talk to them. But here's the next question. I want you to chat this in. What % of reps try more than once? I don't mean emails. I don't mean social. I mean, picking up the phone and trying. What % try more than once?
I don't know the answer, but I know it's low.
Yeah. All right. Who do we like here? Lots of good answers. Katie, 6, 10, Rebecca, 30. Rebecca's an optimist. Katie's an optimist, 40. Nobody's over 40%. The answer is 10. Yeah. 10% of reps will try more than once. And what's sad is approximately 30% of the leads are never contacted at all. They might get a social, they might get an email, but you're never engaging. And that's what this is about, folks. If you take that first slide to be truth, nobody buys something over email. Email and social are about getting them to engage. The superpower to that is adding video, and you double the people that engage. But it's still about getting them on the phone so that you can sell something, right? Or on video.
You still have to have a conversation.
Yes, yes, which is, I know, is sad news for especially some of the millennials today. I can't get my kid to answer the phone, but he'll text me.
Yep, correct.
All right. All right, sales shot number 2. This is all like, hello, you were hired because if marketing could do it alone, sales wouldn't exist. Okay. You were hired because you have this great personality. You are the difference. So think about right now, how many competitors are out there that sell what you sell? Type that in and stay with me on this. How many different competitors can you think of top of mind that do what you do? Stephen, I'm loving your point in chat as I look at this, right? Voicemail is a gift. I totally agree. Voicemail plus email, huge engagement. Now add video to that. You're doubling and tripling, make 2 calls. You own these people, right? 100%, 100%. We all have a different number of competitors, 8 to 10. Yeah, exactly. 8 to 10. Nobody does quite like we do. Melissa, that is dangerous. I know you don't like me much after saying that. But that's always like, Alicia, don't you kind of smile when people say that? No, I have no real competitors. You've got 800.
I mean, technology moves so quickly that, like, if you don't have a competitor today, you're going to have one tomorrow.
And sometimes, for instance, we do sales training, right? Nobody does it the way we do it. So I could think I have no competition, but my competition is doing nothing. My competition is doing internal training. My competition is buying a book or renting it at the library. You know what I mean? So there's lots of different ways to look at it. The point is, folks, you were hired for you, not your ability to hit send on a canned message. And here's the real number here. What percentage of buyers feel there's actually a significant difference between one vendor and the next? So if you think about all of those different competitors that you have out there, thank you for smiling at me, Melissa, because I know I called you out. If you think about all the competitors that you have out there, according to Forrester, only about 30%, 1 out of every 3 people you're selling to think there's any difference between you and the competition. So what does that say to you and like how we need to show our personalities, Alicia?
Well, if they don't really see much of a difference from vendor to vendor or product to product, then the key really here is, I mean, that salesperson, we know this, right? People buy from people they know, like, and trust.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing I love. So BombBomb is all about human connection. We'll show you their book about human connection at the end. They're one of the first companies I've ever seen, easy for me to say, who have put somebody in your position, Alicia, right? Like you're an evangelist. That's your job. You're a national speaker. You are the personality of BombBomb. That is your job. And I like, how do I get that job? Right? Because mine is like to be the writer and the boss and the person. Like, who gets to do that full time? Companies who understand that people are the difference, which I think says a lot. So you've been hired to be the personality for your company, right? That is your job as a sales rep. And it's hard, right? Not many people trust sellers. So a CBS News poll says that people think blank % of the people they don't know are trustworthy, but blank % of the people they do know are trustworthy. So it's a 2-chat answer. And I feel like, what was that? The Love Connection with Chuck Woolery, who would be like, we know that did anybody watch that cheesy 70s game show where you would fill in the blank? And it'd be like, couples state that blank % of people they don't know are trustworthy, right? I don't know this person. They're a weird name on an email. What percentage of them do I think are trustworthy? Angelica says 25%. Sarah says 5%. There's a gap, right? 20 and 80, 2 and 70. But blank % of people I do know are trustworthy. So you've spent 18 minutes getting to know Alicia and I, and people would say, all right, you know us. I mean, we're not BFFs yet, but people would say, generally, you think we're trustworthy. Here's the answer, according to the CBS poll. 30% of strangers I can trust, but 70% of folks I do know I can trust. So what's going to help them get to know you better faster? A social message, an email, a video, a call. I think we know the answers there, right? All right. So Alicia, let's get into making videos good. We've had a couple people already say in the chat, like, I use BombBomb. This is good stuff. Let's make it count. Tip number 1.
So the first one for this sales shot is you got to personalize, right? And we'll talk about times when it's important to personalize and when it's not. You can go ahead and advance all through those points. But the first thing that I want you to know is that we are psychologically drawn to the sound of our own name. So when you're able to send a video to someone and you can say their name right away in the video, you are building familiarity with them. There's a social psychology term called the familiarity effect, and it basically states that the more we're exposed to a specific person or stimuli, the easier it is to just start to trust them. So something as simple as sending someone a video where you say their name right away and say, hi, Lauren, I'm hoping to get a chance to connect with you about such and such. You're building familiarity right away with them, okay? The second thing is that you want to have the personalization, but you also want to have value there, okay? It's not just the, hey, Lauren, and then you just start talking all about yourself, okay? Mm-hmm. You need to make sure you're having some value there, especially when you're at the beginning of establishing this relationship. Now we have this formula that we kind of use to give you an idea of, especially those early on videos of, when you're really wanting to personalize, and this is like a video that you're sending to just one person and not more of like a product description video, is the formula is the personalization plus how much value is in it divided by the depth of relationship. Okay. Yeah. So someone that doesn't know you very well, it needs to be personal and it needs to be high value. right? Because you don't know them very well. Whereas someone that you already have an established relationship with, you can maybe get away with a less personal video, like a product video, or something that is a little less value, maybe like a, hey, just wondering if you had a chance to take a look at that contract. That's not a high value message, but there's already a relationship there. Okay. So you want to make sure that at the beginning of the relationship that you really personalize it, that you make sure that there's value in there. And then just your kind of brief framework for that, like first kind of video I like to give is empathy, value, call to action. Okay.
Give me an example, like empathy.
Yep. I'll give you an example of this. Empathy might be if you are reaching out to executive who's responsible for purchasing that gets hit up with sales emails all the time, saying something as simple as, hi, LB, it's Alicia from BombBomb. I know that you are bombarded with sales emails on a regular basis.
Yes.
So I just want to let you know that I am not going to keep hammering your inbox, whatever it is, just identifying, making that human connection. Sometimes that empathy piece can be as simple as, I saw your post on LinkedIn about struggling to get your sales reps to pick up the phone and make the phone calls, right? Like you're just making that human connection. Okay. Real quick.
Yep.
Value piece is an item of value for them. It's not you talking about all of the value you have to offer.
This is important.
This is really important because you haven't earned a right to talk about yourself yet at the beginning of a relationship.
Yeah.
So you got to give something first, and we'll dive more into some value stuff, but something that you can give them right away that will be valuable, that will catch their attention. And then that call to action. What is the next step that you want them to take? Is it to click the link to schedule? Is it to download that free white paper, that item of value you gave? Yeah. Is it to reply with some times that would be, good to chat or whatever?
Yeah. Good. I'm noticing that we are taking too long on our early slides, and I'm going to speed up just a little bit. But there is so much value in this. In fact, we teach to start with the first name in a phone call as well. Say the name first. Yep. Oh, I love this. So look at the personalization right there, even in the thumbnail.
Yep. So again, this is a great way to make sure that they actually click and play it, because that psychological trigger there, if they see their name, they know it's personal. They know this isn't something that went to 500 people. They're much more likely to play on it. So that's just your extra tip there, is to personalize that thumbnail.
And what I love is that it's actually the opposite of what we've learned with our cadence tools, which is start with the spray and pray and do as little personalization as possible. And folks, that's why we have such abysmal open and click-through rates.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right. Your next tip is about consistency. Let me click through these tips.
Yeah.
Tell us quickly what we should know here.
So this is really important. I think a lot of people, when they start putting video in their sales process, they don't think about ahead of time the places where the video should be, right? So you want to make sure that you know ahead of time the places where you want video to be. So for example, like that first introduction, that's a really powerful place to have video. Or the handoff from an AE to the client success team. That's a really powerful place. The follow-up after the demo, right? That's a really powerful place. So make sure you identify the places in your process ahead of time where you think video is going to be most effective. Okay. Don't just send videos that have no purpose. Like, just checking in email is horrible in the first place.
And it's horrible in a call, and it's horrible in a video. Just don't do it.
In a video.
If you're calling a touch base, just stop.
If I am clicking on a video and you say, hey, I'm just checking in, that's a waste of all of our time. So
and I'm going to stop watching it.
Yeah. Make sure that your video actually has a purpose. Go ahead and go to that next slide. So this is a great example of a company that has done that. They've identified the places in their process, and this is a really cool place in your process. This is a missed demo call.
Smart.
Right?
Well,
so
I'm a person showed on.
Yep. On the person that showed on, because you can no show on a sales call and not care about it because they're a salesperson and who cares, right? You get a video from a salesperson that showed on saying, hey, I'm really sorry that we weren't able to connect yesterday. I know you're busy. Here's some things that might help you.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
showing
it's
up
so
for the
good.
next call.
I'm gonna not play it in the interest of time. If you
Yep,
guys
go
want to
ahead.
see an example of this, right? Alicia's gonna share her contact information at the end or in chat anytime. I will tell you that I use a video to welcome people to Girls Club when they have been admitted as a mentor or a protege. And I get about 10x the replies because it's a great place to personalize and add the video. I'm sending a heartfelt thank you. So, or a congratulations, the emotion in the message. I'm going to skip her. Sorry. Okay, here we go. If you're actually going to get people on the phones, if we've convinced you to stop hiding behind the keyboard, I'm going to give you a tip. We've never trained before. Sales shot number 5 is about making this count. Don't waste your time leaving 10 messages for the wrong person because your data is out of date, right? Don't waste your time recording videos for the wrong person because your data is out of date. And don't do it on the teeny tiny deals. Because the reason people don't do what we're preaching, Alicia, is because it takes extra time.
Yep.
Spray and pray is faster.
Real
So
fast.
how about, right? If you do these 2 tips, where you're going to capture the right contacts and sales qualify the account, I'm going to cover it in the next few slides. Then spend your time doing the calls and the videos for your high level leads to the right people. And the rest of the junk in the lead list, you can spray and pray just in case something sticks.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So we're going to talk about capturing the right contact and sales qualifying the account. We love this tip. All right. What this means is when you have a number and a name, right? Something sitting in your CRM before you start all of the emails and the social outreach. I know it's crazy. Pick up the phone. Try the person's number. Maybe you get a voicemail, maybe you don't. I want you to go be a detective. Okay? Try hitting 0. Try dialing up or down an extension. Try the whole pound trick. Listen to the voicemail. See if they talk about somebody else in the company. Listen to the actual title that they're giving. Try calling everybody else who was actually there in the CRM. Call an assistant, call a backup, use the AI on the website, call the main line on the website, call an old number you find in your tool of Zoom Info or Seamless or whoever you use. Go be James freaking Bond for about 10 dials because you're going to learn something critical. It's probably one of the things on this screen or 800 other things. Who reports to who? What system do they currently have? How long has your decision maker worked there? Any current projects? How many employees are there? How many locations are there? Right? Who else is an influencer in this deal? If you can randomly get a hold of any live body in that company and use the personality that your mama gave you that got you hired for this job, you will learn some critical account information. Why do you care about this stuff? Well, we're going to call these levers, right? Levers are bits of information that help you, right? You leverage the information to do a better job. For instance, dropping a nugget in a video to personalize it.
Yep.
For instance, getting other people on your call list, right? Half the time, the person you have down as the decision maker is the wrong person. So go find who the right person is and pick up some of this as well. Their boss's name, how long they've worked on this, company intel, a commonality that you can use to build rapport, a compliment that you can give, anything you can do to differentiate yourself. So that detective work pays off in getting to the right person, finding out what the account is worth. We're going to talk about that next. And your ability to build rapport and connections and differentiate yourself on your outbound video. We call finding out what it's worth sales qualification. Okay. It's all about counting your money first. Sales qualification is different than marketing or lead qualification. Okay. And this is a hard learned fact. So a lead qualification comes to you with a lead score, right? That says, hey, they've been on the website 87 times. They follow Alicia. They've come to a couple webinars. They have a score of 180. Let's call them first. All right. That's pretty good. It's like an engagement score. Sales qualification says, I can make the most money with this account. right? Sales qualification says, I found out 2 or 3 tidbits that I could get from anybody in the company and found out they have the most potential to buy from me. So Alicia, I'm going to put you on the spot along with everybody else. Okay. You're going to chat something in for me. What's 1 or 2 things you could find out from anybody who works in that company that would tell you, there's potentially high deal size here? For instance, at Factor 8, we sell training for reps. I'm going to have a bigger deal at a company with 1,000 reps than a company with 5. Fair?
Yep.
Right? And could almost anybody who answers the phone for me, especially when I love calling sales departments because they'll help you, tell you if there's a couple hundred salespeople there or a couple?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you have an example or anybody chat it in? Alicia, what might be an example from Belmont?
I mean, that was the first thing that I thought was how many sales reps work at the company. That was one of the first things I thought. But employee count is another one. And now I'm stuck in the people mode though.
I know it's tough, right? Sometimes like their sales motion makes a big difference, right? If they're B2B or B2C, or if they're inbound or if they're outbound.
Yeah.
If they already have tools. Thanks, Michelle. Nice job. Some people's tools integrate, right? You may be selling a software that only works with Salesforce. Well, anybody can tell you in the company what their CRM is. You don't have to wait to get a hold of Mr. Big Boss decision maker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Understanding, what kinds of reps they have. Total addressable spend. Now, this is a tough one, Vincent, right? Because that's what we really want to know. But finding a budget, frankly, is probably more of a decision maker. So this isn't about the BANT qualification that you get from the guy who's in the sales process with you or gal, right? This is about which lead am I going to spend more time with? So we worked with a company who sold all kinds of industrial supplies, 1 million SKUs, right? From the light bulb that went into the elevator button, right? To the cleaning supplies, to the janitorial, to the paper products, all of it. So they were based on facility size. So when they would call out, they'd be like, hey, how many square feet are there? The receptionist doesn't know how many square feet are in the building. So they learned to ask, are you like the size of a Walgreens or a Walmart?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, we're 10 Walmarts. That's an A account because that's what they sell. Okay. So
one of the important questions that I know our reps always need to know is, does the company provide all the tools, right? Is the company paying for everything and mandating it, or do the people have leeway over what kind of tools they use in their process or not, right? Because that's important for us.
Good one. Any salesperson will tell you that. Hey, do you have to buy your own tools or does the company provide things to you? They're going to tell you that answer with some background and an opinion, I bet, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Stephen, you've got it. Number of sites. Big one. Absolutely. How many different locations do you have? It's so much faster to pick up a few nuggets from each live body you get than to dive into hours of online research. It is a black hole, people. Say no. Unless it's an enterprise account and you're doing targeted account marketing and you need to do all of that research. If you're calling on cold, if you're calling on late lists, if you don't know what it's worth yet, and you have hundreds of in your book, right? Instead of just spraying and praying an email, do this instead. Now, how do you get great information out of people? It's all in how you ask. You got to be conversational, help them picture it, be fast, and give them a choice. Those are the 4 tips. I'm going to give you examples on how. Okay. Let's say you do medical or pharmaceutical sales. You're calling in, you're getting an office manager, you're getting somebody in the front desk. Hey, quick question while I got you. How many docs work there? It's conversational. It was fast. Most people come at it. May I please speak with the person in charge of purchasing your medical equipment? You're just trying to get to the decision maker. You're broadcasting you're a salesperson. Instead, don't blow through gatekeepers. Ask them 3 or 4 questions. Here's another example. Before you transfer me, really, really quick, would you help me spell Dr. Bob's last name? I'm pretty sure I have a typo here. That's a little tip we call give to get, right? You may not even know Dr. Bob's last name. In versus somebody who calls in and says, I'm calling to confirm the information we have on file in our system. That's not conversational.
Yeah.
So I've got one last one that helps them picture the person that you're talking to. Okay. Oh, so-and-so's not in. Well, hey, let me ask you this. Who would you call internally if you had an issue with your computer? So instead of saying, who's the person in charge of IT, right? You help them picture. They're like, oh yeah, well, I call Rich. Okay. As soon as they picture Rich, his name is halfway out of their mouth. So you picture Rich and then you ask, oh, what's his last name? Okay, great. I'm just going to try him. Do you have his extension right there? The key is you push. Okay. The goal is 5 or 6 pieces of information. And if you're really good, you get 3 to 6 before they start shutting you down. Cool.
I
Get this.
love those.
Yeah, it works. And people come back with all of these nuggets. They're like, oh my gosh, Rich isn't even in charge. It's his boss, Bob. Rich got demoted, and then there's this new guy. And you know what? There's 3,000 people I didn't even know. I'm going to call this account every day. I'm going to send videos. I'm going to, right? You mark them as an A account, and suddenly you're not just snoozing and hitting send. You've got the strategic approach to what you're doing. So pick up the phone and be a detective first. Once you know these folks, you're calling the right person and they're really worth something. Oh my God, baby, go video all day long. So let's get back to some of your tips. Okay. Value is something you talked about before. Let's dig into that some more.
Which really builds on what you were just saying about all the intel you have, because the intel that you've gathered is going to set you up for success with the kinds of things that you can share value on. So, number one, share the types of things you hear. What kind of problems are they struggling with? Or did they just have something exciting happen? Like if you saw on LinkedIn that their company just, got a G2 badge or something like that, share that information. Hey, congratulations, right? That's a type of value because it's connection based there. Offer to help. What kind of things can you give them? I said at the beginning, whether it's a white paper or, do you want me to take a look at something and see, where we can help you or whatever it is. I have this quote up here behind me.
I love that.
Our marketing team has adopted it, and it's be of value and abundance will follow, right? Again, if you think about that stat, that only 30% of people really think there's much difference between you and your competitor. So what if the difference is that you're more helpful, that you're anticipating their needs, that you have all of these resources available to help them? So if you're talking about video, you're using video to stand out, connect more effectively, communicate better, and you're adding high value to that, you're educating them about the process, you're giving free information and tips, well, that is a differentiator that blows you out of the water.
You can't even describe how much. Yeah. Even just the people who try to drop value and personalize in an email, I would say is probably 1 out of every 1 to 200 that I get, right? But then when they do it in a way that I see them as a person, it makes all the difference in the world.
Well, and when you're giving value and you're not just talking about yourself, it establishes trust a lot faster, right? You're setting the tone that I'm the professional, I'm the expert, I know how to help you, I'm going to guide you through this process, and you're just building trust real quick. If you want to go to the next slide, we don't need to play the video because I know we're short on time.
We're doing okay. We've caught up.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
good.
Come on, video, come with me. Let's see if this will work. Yeah, let's see.
So before you press play on the video, just some ideas here, right? Some value. Like, what information do you have that they don't have? What are the frequently asked questions that always come up? You can record those videos ahead of time and save yourself time. What to expect in the sales process, or once the sale is complete, what the onboarding process looks like, what next steps would be. These are all types of value that you can give them that's going to speed your sales cycle along, because they already likely have these questions in the back of their mind. Okay.
I love that idea.
Yeah. And then the screen recorder, which you're going to see this guy do here. This is a sales rep from StoryBrand. Using a tool like a screen recorder gives you an opportunity to do a product demo, a quick product demo, or show some item of value, or go over, do a website review or something like that. It gives you a way to kind of drop that item of value as well into that email, because you're showing, which is exactly what Jake from StoryBrand is doing here. He's just like gifting her information on how she can make her website better before she's even agreeing to work with him.
Oh, okay, let's see this.
Jake Owsley with StoryBrand here. Hope you're so well. Super fun to chat with you very briefly. I know you had a ton of questions about your website, and then specifically how you can use StoryBrand to help you clarify your message. I want to walk you through a little presentation that I think will be helpful for you. To start, I want to point you to a very vague message. We see a lot of websites that start with this, something that's pretty unclear, pretty vague. It's very hard to uncover what it is that they do. You have to burn a lot of calories to figure out what this brand is actually offering. Let's walk through 5 things that your website should include. The very first thing is a header.
Go ahead and stop the video.
Yep, that's pretty cool. So he's going right into the to-dos and not to-dos.
Yeah, right away, right? She hasn't signed a contract with him. She's still in the sales process, but he's still giving her all that free information, especially if you know that giving them all the information is going to make them feel a little bit overwhelmed. And they're like, well, I can't do that all on my own. I do need your help. That's actually, that item of value also is going to help convince them that they need your help.
100%. If they had the time, like people outsource for 2 reasons, right? Expertise and bandwidth.
Yeah.
So, right. He's showing the need for both by doing that.
Yep.
There we go. All right. And next one is, keep them watching.
Yeah. So you've got them to open the email. You've got them to play the video. You know that your video is really high value because you've been paying attention to these tips. You've got the intel, right? You've done all of this, but how do you make sure that they watch the whole video? So a couple of things for context. Okay. First of all, a 70 to 80% watch rate is really good. If you're sending out videos and you're like, man, no one ever finishes my videos, they drop off at like 85% every time. No, that's normal. Once people kind of get the gist of the video there and they can tell that you're wrapping up, a lot of times they just get out of there. Okay. Adding captions to your video will absolutely increase watch rate, as well as transcriptions. If that's an option, if you're using a tool that doesn't, BombBomb gives an option for transcriptions as well, because
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, on the side of if you click on the transcription option when you're watching the video, it'll pull up the whole transcript on the side, timestamped, so that if you wanted to go back to a video or we're looking something, you can like scan through and find the point in the video. So those are going to help your watch rate. But some tips for you: make it a list. Again, psychologically, when we hear something like, in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 things that your website needs to have, right? Like Jake was doing, or hey, Sarah, 3 quick things for our appointment tomorrow.
Yeah.
When we hear that, psychologically, our brain wants to finish the list. So if you can get through tip 1 or 2 on that list of 3 real quickly, they are going to stay to the end to hear tip 3 because their brain can't handle dropping off.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is so good. Do you see I'm writing notes over here about how I'm integrating this? This is great.
Yeah. Build in anticipation, right? Hey, at the end of this video, I'm actually going to let you know how you can download that free giveaway or that PDF. Or in our next call, I'm actually going to walk you through exactly what our onboarding process looks like. Right? You're building that anticipation.
Wait a minute, pause really quick, folks. People who are still with us, at the end of this webinar, we're going to give you a chance to download a free BombBomb book and a free license. So don't leave early. Okay, go.
I love the question one, especially these are great for like your frequently asked question videos, right? Your pre-recorded evergreen videos. So, I mean, this one came directly from an insurance guy who one of his pre-recorded frequently asked question BombBomb videos is, have you ever wondered if you really need that extra car insurance at the rental counter? right? When you ask a question, they're immediately drawn in instead of the, hey, it's Alicia from Prudential Insurance. I'm going to share with you some information, right? Just ask the
Yeah.
question right away. Have you ever
Yeah.
wondered?
Yeah,
Or the
I
story
love
cue.
that.
Yeah. The other day, a client was telling me that every single time they implement a new product into their sales team, they can only get about 10% adoption, right? Story cues. So those are just some tips to really get them to actually watch the video and stay with you so that they can hear all the things you want to share.
I love that. Speaking of which, Monica will miss you as well. So thanks for saying goodbye. She's so sorry she has to drop. She can't wait to watch the rest in the recording. Appreciate that. So cool. All right. So we're talking about follow-up now. This is key. So the first thing that's critical, of course, right? We're making many attempts to get a hold of people. It's not one email, I did it again, and one video email and you're done. We have to make repeated attempts. So I'm here to tell you, yes, leave the voicemail, right? Of course, you can always leave the video voicemail as well, but folks, nobody leaves them. They're critical. What do you think?
When I was a sales rep, every single time I would leave a voicemail, I would send a video immediately following and saying, hey, LB, I just left you a voicemail. Every single time, right? You're hitting in all those important places.
Mm-hmm. And what happened? Did you get better responses?
Absolutely better responses. And if they listen to the voicemail, they're a lot of times likely to go watch the video.
It's so true.
Right?
It's
because
so
that familiarity, they see your name, they're making the connection.
Yes. Want to know how to leave a good voicemail? Go get our free class, factor8.com/voicemail. So it's a sales shot webinar you can watch like this, but shorter. So the 1-2 punch is voicemail and email. The 1-10 punch is voicemail and video email. Okay. So we'll send another video follow-up. I love this. You mentioned this earlier, right? We just had a great meeting. Here are the next actions. Here are the next steps. And remember, don't do less than 7 attempts to get them on the phone once you've done your James Bond work and you know they're an A or B account. All right. Our final shot is, folks, about letting your freak flag fly. This is so important. Alicia, take us through these.
Well, I'm going to start with a quote from Miss LB herself. There's nothing that moves you into a trusting relationship faster than connecting with someone at a human level. People get robotic because you're trying to be professional. And my advice is to stop trying to be professional and be human. It's an LB quote. It is from the book.
Oh, I was like, it's a lot of words.
It's from the book.
Yeah.
Listen, LB said it at the beginning. You and who you are as a human being is your biggest sales asset. If your job could be done by marketing, if your job could be done by artificial intelligence, I promise you they would do it, right? Salespeople are expensive and we're a pain in the butt. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But we're also good, right? We're good at what we do. And it's because you are a human being. So it's okay to be a human being. The transparency sale talks about like when we lead with our flaws and it lets people see that you're a human being, they're more likely to trust you. Be intentional about who your video is for. We have a tendency when we get on camera, especially to get all robotic and serious and professional and all of that, like we're talking to a news camera. Right. Whereas if you think about the person that you're actually speaking to, it's going to be more conversational and it's going to be more like you and not someone trying to present because you don't want to present. Right. You just
and it's not about that. Like if you mess it up, people are afraid of video. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Right. Just like people are afraid of the phone. And I say, when I trip over my words, I leave it.
Yes.
Bleh, whoops, sorry about that. That was the worst voicemail I'll leave all day. Well, if you're still listening to this, call me back, please. Like, you faith and smile. It's something different.
Yes. I mean, truly, truly, if you don't believe me, you need to go read the transparency sale and see the data there because salespeople, we have a bad rep. We just have a bad rap that way. But when people can see that you're a human being, then it really makes a huge difference. Bullet points, please do not try and script your videos because you won't sound like yourself. Even if you wrote the words and you're trying to read it, it's not gonna feel human. So bullet point, it's okay to, jot down a couple things on a Post-it and stick it right next to your camera so that it's by your eye line, so that you don't really have to move your eyes. You can just kind of see, oh yeah, I wanted to say that. But don't try and script your videos. It won't sound like you.
I say the same thing all the time about phone calls. I hate scripts. And what's even worse is when, as leaders, we think we're doing our newbies a favor by handing them a script. And all you're doing is saying all those reasons I hired you are actually worthless. I don't trust you to be yourself, or use your own words, say mine, please. Which is like, it's why we hate sales. It's why we lower our confidence, and it's why we sound like robots on the phone. So convert it into goals and bullets instead. I love it.
I mean, these last two are about the same, right? Let go of perfect polished and let that freak flag fly. Like, be a human being. Don't try and put a filter on your face. You don't need a virtual background. You don't need, again, it's scripted and you don't need to record it 5 times to make sure that you don't say, just be a human being, be conversational, speak to them the same way you would if you walked into their office and you got to sit across the table from them.
Well, and listen, when I say freak flag, I really do mean it. This is from Seth Godin. He talks about attracting the right people to you. And you don't find your tribe in the middle of the normal scale, literally. You find it at the outskirts. So that's, I think, why you and I find each other, Alicia. We have similar freakiness, that we're like oversharers and big personalities, and we don't mind being vulnerable and letting people in. And like super private, quiet people are not our people. They don't like us very much. And that's okay, because we can't drink with them. Hang with them. Anyway, so the point is this. I literally heard reps who will talk about the most nutty things in an intro or a voicemail because it's a freak flag, right? There was a guy who literally would wear a costume to the office on Fridays and let everybody know about the fact he was wearing a costume, even when he wasn't on video. Calling you for my Easter bunny pants. Well, there's something I haven't heard today. Right? Or leading with the fact that really excited for today. I just bought my 27th reindeer. Like, I'm weird and I'm okay with being weird, and I'm giving you something to connect to or make fun of or have a commonality with, whatever the case may be. Right? I just think that's so critical.
I wanted to answer in chat there. I saw someone asking about video, or 2 people asking about video, and Suzanne said, I say less than 1 minute. And I would agree with that if it's a first touch video, but remember that formula at the beginning, like personalization plus value divided by depth of relationship. Like, if you are 4 or 5 calls into a cycle with someone and you're sending them a video that's 3 minutes long, but it's going to save them a phone call, you can send the 3-minute video, because the 3 minutes, they know you, they trust you, they're going to press play on the video. And if it saves everyone a call, they're going to be thrilled that you sent a 3-minute video instead of scheduling 15 minutes on the calendar.
Okay. So I want to also tell you my experience with the opposite of that. Okay. I don't like it if you send me a video for a 1-word answer.
Yes.
Because I had to go in and I had to click it and I had to listen to it, and it took me 30 extra seconds.
Yes.
And if the answer was Tuesday, couldn't you freaking type that?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So get smart with your tools. I think that makes sense. And if there's something to discuss, it's got to be a call. It's got to be a meeting. It's critical. All right. Those were 10 shots, but at least half of them were Alicia and Lauren begging you to get beyond your keyboard. Okay, do more. Show us your personality and do it with your voice and with your face. Leave voicemails, send videos, be a detective so you're not wasting your time. We will try to remove that objection from the entire process. Let's talk about how you can learn more. So every month we do free sales shots, but there's also master classes for reps and boot camps for managers that are the least expensive way to get world-class sales training. We have new ones starting every single quarter: prospecting, discovery, deal progression, and closing. This is where you get a license to the sales bar for these classes, and you get live training and coaching to apply it along the way, right? More than edutainment, this is us bringing the training to you. Also, we certify at the end of every one. Factor8.com/masterclass. The code MC_200 makes this ridiculously cheap. So go ask for this budget. If you're not getting professional sales training, you're missing out. Here's the one you've been waiting for, the free trial.
Yeah.
You gotta try it. So tell us more about this.
Yeah, we offer a 14-day free trial. There's no credit card required. It's not like a give us your credit card and remember to cancel in 14 days, right? You just get to sign up for the 14 days. And, you know, in those 14 days, try some of the things that you saw today, you know, take advantage of it. So it's just bombbomb.com/trial. Go there, you can check it out. We have tons of resources available on the website as well for you to get started. When you sign up for the free trial, we kind of walk you through recording your first video and everything. It takes less time to record a BombBomb video than it takes to type out an email.
It does. No, it really does. I've done that multiple times where I'm like, at like bullet point 3, and I'm like, okay, this is done. I need to record a video. Alicia, we have a question from Vincent in here saying, you know, the video that I skipped early on, and now I'm regretting it because I have 4 whole minutes left. Or do you have examples like that on the website, or how can you get that?
I'm going to put my email in the chat. And if you want to
Awesome.
see some examples, I would be happy to send some examples. That is my email address. Don't sell it, but you may use it.
Nice. Nice. She loves taking sales calls too, but only if there's a video. BombBomb did a fantastic book, and you could get a free PDF version download. It's called Human-Centered Communication. And it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know if you've counted them. There's probably 10,000 tips in here about how to be more human and how to get beyond the keyboard. I own chapter 8, which I'm so proud to be a part of, but there are lots of much more important people than me featured in this book with these tips.
Yeah, we featured 11 sales leaders in this book, all talking about what we were talking about today, getting from behind the keyboard and being more human, because it makes all of the difference in your business.
And there are ways to apply these tips. It's not just about video. If you can't get beyond the free trial and your company won't buy you the tool, it doesn't mean you can't use the tips. And the book is free, and it is fantastic. All right. And I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you that applications are open. BombBomb, Firemon, and Factor8, we've all come together because we sponsor Girls Club. And Girls Club is a management certification program that is for women in revenue to earn promotions into management. We're trying to reverse that negative growth trend of women in revenue leadership. We cover management skills, confidence building, thought leaders, role models, mentors. Look at this. We've got a 70% promotion rate, and that's people who get promoted before the end of the 6 months. We open applications only once a year. If you are thinking about getting into management in the next 2 years, or you've got some really kick-ass women on your team and you'd like to help support their career, please go to wearegirlsclub.com/apply and learn more. That will close. We start in April, and it only happens once a year. All right. Join us at our next sales shot. This one was a double. Usually we go 30 minutes and it's quick and dirty. I loved how many tips I got out of this. I know everybody else did too. Here are the next ones on January, February, and March. Factor8.com/shots. And here's where you can find Alicia and I if you missed it in chat. Alicia at bombbomb.com, LB at Factor8.com. Thank you again to BombBomb, to Factor8, and to Firemon for making this possible. It was so fun spending an hour with you, Alicia. That went by fast.
I know, that was great. Love it. I wish I could spend an hour with you every week.
I know. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Thanks everybody for the great engagement in the comments and in the chats. I'll stay back for a minute, and in case anybody has a question. Otherwise, we wish you great luck on the rest of your meetings. We give you a whole minute to go to the bathroom between them. Get after it. We hope you close the year strong and have a wonderful, wonderful holiday. Thanks for joining us.